I want to discuss different methods of connecting your automatic hose timers to your hose, considerations in reducing tension, preventing it from breaking, uh, the hose from leaking, etc. So I have three different hookups. I'm going to show you what I did, and you can put your suggestions or recommendations in the comments below. So here's the first connection. So in every case, I used a 2Ways Pro Y connector manifold because I wanted to have access to a regular garden hose. I didn't want to lose that in the process of hooking up my timer. So in this particular setup, I have a hose here which goes over there. It's about a 10-foot hose, and we'll walk around. Whoops. And my timer is over here. I have it protected in a sandwich bag, a little Ziploc bag to help protect it from water. Although it's supposed to be water resistant, these things aren't perfect, and I've read about failures on the Amazon reviews, so I think, well, let me protect mine. And you can see going into it, I have the hose connects into there. There is a backflow, well, no, that goes into a 4-way manifold timer here. And then each one has its own pressure reducer, backflow preventer, and except for this one over here, because that's connected to a full pressure hose. Given the length of the backflow preventer, the pressure reducer, etc., in addition to the timer, if that were all hanging out the outlet, the original faucet area, that would have a tremendous amount of leverage and tension and could easily break, cause a leak, etc. I didn't like that idea, so I used the hose. But with a hose, you have to be careful because you want to protect it from the sun, because if it keeps heating, so if the hose keeps heating and cooling, it's out in the sun, that stress on the hose may cause it to fail over time, and then you may get a flooding and waste water and cause water damage. So that, again, if you're going to use a hose, get a high quality hose and protect it, shield it from sunlight. So here's the second setup. You can see this is a single outlet timer. Again, it's connected to a 2Ways manifold, so I can use the regular hose. And you can see at the end of the hose, it looks like about a 6-foot hose. It's connected to a pressure reducer there, and the backflow preventer is here. Now this is a vacuum seal type breaker, an air vacuum, and for that to work properly, it needs to be distal to or beyond the timer. It can't be pressurized when the timer turns off. Otherwise, the backflow preventer doesn't work properly if you use a vacuum breaker type. Now, there are one-way valve type mechanisms that DIG irrigation makes that I have also used, and that one doesn't have the disadvantage of of, well, actually, the problem is with this type of backflow preventer, one, it has to be beyond the high pressure so that there's no pressure when the timer turns off, and two, it needs to be elevated, and this is not really sufficiently elevated. It's only maybe 3-4 inches above the ground from the backflow from the hose that it's going to, and so that's not ideal. But in any case, you've got all this stuff hanging down there, but this particular one is very isolated. It's not under a tremendous amount of tension. It seems reasonably secure, and I guess I'm okay with this. But again, it did require a length of hose in order to take pressure off this connection here to the micro irrigation system. And here is the last of the 3 setups. Again, same 2-ways pro manifold here connecting to a regular hose. And then I got one of these really short hoses, which is just to release tension at the faucet. And given how low this thing is, this whole faucet's only about 4 inches above the ground after the gooseneck. This worked out fine. So this little short hose allows a few degrees bend in the hose, allows my timer to sit on the ground and relieve any additional tension from it. Again, it's protected by a little baggie so that most of the rain that falls on it will not go directly on and around the timer, and it'll give it some protection. And then this is a 2-port timer, and you know, this is how I got this one set up. There's the pressure reducer, and then this is the DIG backflow preventer, which doesn't fail if it's too low. It's basically just a one-way valve, and probably makes more sense in general than the vacuum one, the way I've got these things hooked up. So that's the story on that, and I'd be interested in hearing other methods that others have used to get the tension off the connections at the spigot, and how they set theirs up. Thanks for watching.